Well, what's going on, everybody? This is Jerome Reid, and I am joined today by a talented artist, the one and only Jude Barclay. He's a recording artist, producer from Midland, Michigan, and I'm so excited to have him joining me on the show today. You can find his music on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you stream music. That's where you're going to find Jude. Jude, thank you so much for being on the show today, bro. It's truly an honor.
Yo, thank you for having me. I'm excited. This is gonna be fun.
It's going to be real good. First question I want to ask you is a question so many people have different answers to, obviously. But what does an average day look like for you?
Oh, and honestly, it's been different the last year or so since the music's really started to take off. So it really is like bro, it's always something music related. Like it's
Yeah.
always something like I'm driving to Nashville from Michigan to go, shoot a video, or I'm planning out a couple releases, or I'm mixing, or being an independent artist, there's so many different hats you have to wear because the truth is you're a small business owner, right? Like you
Yeah.
have to take control, you have to be your own manager, you have to be your own label, you have to be your own everything. And so and for me, I'm my own producer and engineer on top of that. So I'm
Wow.
wearing all the hats. So it's like I'm mixing my songs, I'm mastering my songs, I'm producing my songs, I'm writing my songs, like I'm recording, and I'm also
Yeah.
like distributing, and then I'm pitching them, then I'm marketing them, and then so it's like all the different hats towards it already. Is like already so much going on.
Yeah.
Um so honestly, it's always something music related. And I honestly just have a list on my phone. Like, I don't know. It's actually pretty small today because we've been working. So I just finished my EP today. And I'm really
Okay.
it's actually I've been really listening to a lot of like pop punk. And so I
Hmm.
wanted to do it. But right now this is like my list. It's not too long. Just like I
Yeah.
said, I finished a lot of stuff. But I always have a list of like I always have a list of probably normally it's about 10 to 15 things I have to do. And it feels like
Hmm.
once I get one down, it's like two more get added. So
Yeah.
I always have stuff going on though. And I love it. I kind of live for it. Like I get that fulfillment of, okay, I did something today.
Hmm. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. And I think it's really awesome when you have a list, so that way you're getting through your schedule. Because if you have a list and you only get through half of it, you only feel like you're halfway accomplished.
Right. No, definitely. Honestly, I feel the same way. I'm very I can be very one track minded in the aspect
Hmm.
of I'll just get going on one thing and forget about the six other things I have to do. So time management has definitely been something I've learned in the last year. And so
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm gonna knock these things out first, and I'm gonna do it in this amount of time. And so then I'm gonna focus on this. Like, and so I kind of just like teach myself to focus
Hmm.
on on one thing at a time, but like kind of with a little more umph to get it
Yeah.
done. So
Oh, for sure, for sure. Now,
yeah.
you mentioned like you're a man of many talents. You wear many hats, you do different things. Um, how did you kind of get into producing music, and what does that process kind of look like?
Dude, so that was completely off of it was a joke. Like it was a bet. Like we're like, oh, one of my friends was like, yo, we should totally like make a song. And I was like, psh. And we were 15. I was 15. He was, I think, older. He was 19. And he
Yeah.
was like, yeah, we should totally make a song because we both had grew up listening to music, and we were both like loved music. Like everything was always like we would get in the car and be like, all right, check out these 5 songs I found, right?
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, we should totally try. So I downloaded GarageBand and he downloaded GarageBand, and then we just went hard in the paint for it for
Wow.
like 2 weeks, and then he dropped out. And I was like, this is actually a lot of fun though. And I actually had grown up with being surrounded by people in music.
Hmm.
My best friends growing up were music producers and writers, so I always had
Wow.
like a fascination by it. um so like I had that resource to go then be like, hey, can you teach me? And at
Hmm.
first everyone's like, oh sure, like he wants to do music. And then when like I started showing him some of my like demos and like different things I was coming up with, they're like, oh, he wants to do music.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's definitely cool to have that resource. Excuse me. But someone I definitely give a lot of the credit to is a guy by the name of Stephen Malcolm. I don't know if you
Hmm.
know him. So
Yeah, I've heard of
he
him for
he,
sure.
he was like my big brother growing up. I'm from Michigan. He's from Michigan.
Wow.
And so I met him when I was 14. I think I was
Hmm.
14 or 15. And we were just like he was like my big brother. Like it wasn't, and this is before I even started doing music. So when I
Wow.
started working on music and trying out different ideas, he was definitely like that dude to be like, hey, like, just because he was already signed, he was already like had a lot of things going for him. He had that
Mhm.
insight. And so he helped me with a lot of different things as far as just like what the music industry actually looks like. And to me, it was
Mhm.
always fascinating. Like, wow, like this is how this works, and this is what I need to watch out for. And so it was super dope. So honestly, it was off a bet. Like, to answer your question, it really was just like it had to be like something God had to work out for sure. Because
Yeah.
if not, like oh my gosh, my family has no musical talent.
Yeah.
My dad was a drummer for like a couple years, but like not while I was not really that I could even remember.
Mhm.
And he played in church. So like besides that, like my mom, like no musical talent there. Like my grandma actually always says that it's fate for me to be in music, because my grandma was like, well, the only reason I got with your grandpa and we settled down is because he had the biggest record collection in town. And I
Let's
was like,
go.
grandma, I didn't need to know that. And so no, so it definitely had to be like one of those things where it's like, well, this is obviously God, because
Mhm.
this is not my first choice whatsoever.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly, the crazy thing, like you said, that it started off with a bet. I mean,
Yeah.
to you literally thought, oh, bet, like I'm just gonna try it out and see what happens.
Yeah, for
But
fun. Yeah, because yeah.
yeah, but honestly, I think the whole time, obviously, we know God saw that, oh, he's actually tapping into something that I put in him. But I think it's cool that out of that, you can now have a story of where you started and now where you are.
Oh, definitely. No, yeah, there's definitely a wild story. And honestly, I'm very bad at like I'll get asked one question and then I'll like just go on this like rant,
No,
and
it's all
like
good,
and then
man.
I'll answer like future questions, so we can just kind of go one at a time. So
Yeah,
I'll start answering them, a little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
at a time here. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Honestly, this is one of those conversations where we just get to have a lot of fun with it and people get to interact,
Yeah.
so it's all good.
Let's do it.
Now, what would you say? Because this is a question that I asked a few people before. Um, what would you say has been the influence for you to become an artist? So you went from producer to like songwriter. So how did kind of that happen for you?
Dog, it's the same answer as producer. Like I
Dang.
literally one of my home artist homies literally sent me a song and like, bet you won't put a verse on it. And I was like, we'll do it. I make a joke or whatever, right?
Yeah,
But for some reason, I took it super seriously, which is like, I'm shocked I did that. And
yeah.
so I had it set up because this is actually my little recording setup here. Um,
Wow.
I do everything in house here. I would show you, but it's connected to all my equipment here. But
Oh, it's all good.
I have like this whole like desk in front of me with my speakers, and I have like TV monitors and
Hmm.
music equipment. So I literally do everything from home.
Yeah.
Um, like I just dropped some people off at the airport today that came in and helped me write for my project, and I'm very lucky to have a very like I took time in my room and decorating
Hmm.
it to look like when people walk in here, they're like inspired and it's like refreshed and like, okay, let's sit down and
Yeah.
create. And
Yeah.
so like these are like different like articles like back here that I've been
Hmm.
featured in. This is my clothing brand right here. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's LED sign from my clothing brand. And
Yeah.
just like these are like pop figures of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Bro, I'm a big Avatar fan.
Oh, wow. Let's
I
go.
am. And so like I love Avatar. So like these are like all the ones that are like super hard to find that I like
Yeah.
took my time to like search on Amazon and eBay for like 6 months to find one. And I'm like, yes. Um but to answer your question, I got off track to say that was off of a bet too. And it was one
Hmm.
of those things, it was the same thing as producing, like, wow, this is really fun. Like it
Yeah.
was like I actually had enjoyment from it. And it was like, wow, like, and I had been producing for about 2 years up to that point. Because maybe a little, yeah, about 2 years. And I was like, wow, like being an artist is so much more like fun, like because it just the next step of like like that other side. I feel like I unlocked a whole new world.
Yeah,
Like
for
wow,
sure.
like I can make my voice an instrument to be
Hmm.
a part of what I'm creating here. And it's like
Yeah.
it's just a full complete like just bundle, right? I can create the musical side. I was pretty I'm pretty decent at that. Obviously,
Hmm.
there's a lot of people that are better than me at it, but like, I enjoy doing that too. And honestly, like, I wish I could do it more now, but
Yeah.
I've been like blessed to be able to work with a lot of cool producers that are just like way better. But
Hmm.
honestly, I'm very grateful for that experience to be a producer first, because now it's like, one, I have the skill and experience and like
Yeah.
the ear for it.
Yeah.
So like when I made I don't know if you know my song High School Never Really Ends. So I actually was blessed to be able to work with Carvello, one of the
Yeah.
coolest producers out right now. And so we got in the session, and I actually did a lot of like a decent amount of like production on the beat. So he made all the
Hmm.
instrumentals and all that kind of stuff. He made the beat itself, but I
Yeah.
went in and added a bunch of stuff and like structured it. Like I'm really big on like structure,
Yeah.
as far as music, because it's like, okay, there needs to be up, and then like the down needs to match the up. So then when the up comes back in again, people are like, I don't know. I'm very big on like always creating
Yeah.
interesting structures where people are like, it always keeps elevating for the listener because it's always something different.
Yeah.
And so like on the drops, like you'll hear like a different kind of hit that you weren't probably expecting. Like that was
Yeah.
me, like the double hit, the triple hit, or like adding in like different things here and there. So like I'm very grateful to have that start because I still hear it, but then I have
Hmm.
that collaboration of someone that has been like, that's their main focus. So
Right.
Carvello is definitely one I like to shout out. Wow, Eli, another
Yeah.
crazy producer. And then 100 Gram. Those are like the people and there's definitely other people like that I've
Oh,
worked
for
with that I
sure.
enjoy working with. But like those, like 100 Gram and Wow Eli though, are kind of like my dudes. Like
Hmm.
they definitely are super clutch and make amazing instrumentals. But
That's amazing,
um,
man.
yeah, no, definitely, bro. It's been so much fun, and there's definitely other people I want to work with, but because I enjoy collaboration with different producers and
Yeah.
different stuff, and just because it always brings a new challenge and a new sound out of me, and I like trying to do different stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, long answer short, artist stuff was off of a bet. Like
Hmm.
literally, someone sent me, and I was like, "This is so much fun. I want to keep doing this." So I challenged myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, at that point, I had a lot of I had a lot of being a producer. I had a lot of artist friends,
For sure.
and so I challenged, like I had so much input from all these amazing people, and one of them challenged me to start making a song a day, because at the time they were
Wow.
making 3 or 4 songs a day. Like that was their
Yeah.
challenge. Like, okay, I'll do it, and it was during quarantine, so it's like,
Yeah.
I'll do it, because I had just started singing, during quarantine, and I was like, okay, I'll do it, and I started doing it, and a lot of them were really bad, but
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of them made me stop and be like, wow, I could actually do this.
I
And
like
so
that,
I
man.
started doing that every day, and I was like, I'm challenged. Okay, I'm gonna make 2 songs today. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make 3 songs today. Even like at first, it was hard for me to find like to even do like a hook or like do
Yeah.
like or like a verse or anything. It was super like, it took me a really long time because I couldn't sing, so getting the perfect takes were really hard.
Hmm.
And so like honestly, like learning the different registries and like, learning your chest voice and where you can push yourself and
Yeah.
where and honestly, like, and then where to put all those different tones and like
Yeah.
learning like what you can do, what sounds good. And like, dude, like learning your tones is really interesting because it's like finding out new abilities that you had no idea.
Exactly.
Like if you listen to like my older music when I first started releasing, I was very like I was
Mhm.
very like in head voice,
Yeah.
like very chill. But then when I started like more recently, like I felt like it was this day I was recording with somebody and they had a very high energy song, and I was like, I'm gonna try like going into like my chest voice.
Yeah.
And then so I tried it and I had so much fun doing that I was like, oh my gosh, this is like, it was, and I still go back and forth because like dynamic and all that. I like having dynamics to my music, but also I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, like I have this whole nother world. And I was like, and then I started listening to like punk, like pop punk music at that time.
Mhm.
So it's like, dang, so now I'm really invested because it's like, I love like this registry for me and this genre word straight. And so I've released a couple of songs in that genre before, but
Mhm.
um I haven't like released like a project kind of dedicated to it. So
Yeah.
that's what
That,
this is, and that's what I'm excited about.
that's exciting, man. Honestly, you
Yeah.
actually mentioned the song title, which is one of my favorite songs that you released called High School Never Really Ends. And for the people that may not know the message, what's the message behind that song for the viewers and listeners that don't know?
Yeah, man. So that's actually a song I was kind of like not surprised, but like I was like, oh, that's cool that like Reach wanted it, because it kind of had a different message than like what a lot of they like kind of like what they normally, you know, the normal vibe over there.
Yeah.
And my experience was, so a little backstory behind the song.
Yeah.
I the day before was shooting a music video for a song I have called "Making Me Look Good." And in the video, I'm actually wearing the High School Never Really Ends jacket.
Oh,
And
wow.
so what happened was my friend Elias, who actually was here helping me write for this pop punk EP, that was our collaborative song, was me and was Making Me Look Good. And so Elias had a friend, had a friend that he introduced me to him. And he's a super dope designer. His name's Abraham. And he showed me like a couple of the pieces he was working on. And he like held up the High School Never Really Ends jacket. And I read that for the first time, and I was like, that is so dope. I was like, that is so cool. And he was like, bro, do you want to wear this for the video? And I was like, definitely. So I wore it in the video. I was like, that's so cool. And then the next day I got invited to Reach because Carvello was there. And like, hey, like Carvello's free if you want to come work. Like he said he was down to work. And I was like, oh, that sounds sick. So I pulled up, and we made like four songs in like 3 or 4 hours. And high school was one of them. And so I remember just like showing Ace Harris, the head A&R at Reach. And I was like showing him, and he's like, yeah, like these are dope. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, and I remember being like, yo, like would Hovey ever want something like this, right? And then they were like, and he was like, I don't know, like maybe, because when I made High School Never Ends, my original intentions were like, yo, Hovey would go crazy on this. Hovey would like this. And because it's kind of, it has that vibe of it. And then so I remember the next day I came back because I was invited back in to write some more. And Ace was like, yo, man, like play me that high school song again. And I was like, all right, man, let's do it. And then so at the time I'd only recorded the chorus. And he's like, yeah. He's like, I like that. He's like, put some verses on that. See what you can do. I was like, all right, cool. So I went in the studio and I knocked out 2 verses in like an hour and a half, because I was like, yo, he really likes it. Like maybe like this can do something. And so I went and showed him, and he was like, oh, like he was like, yeah, I like this a lot. I'm gonna send this around, kind of see what people think about it. I'm like, and for me, I still don't know what that means. So I'm like, cool, sounds good to me. Like I'm just vibing out. I'm just happy to be there. And so the next morning, actually, Ace took me out to breakfast, and we were kind of just talking about different things. And he was just like casually saying like, oh yeah, by the way, like I sent that song to like the group chat with the A&Rs and like the Cray, and like they really were vibing with it, and they definitely want to put it on the playlist. And I was like, and I'm like cutting into a waffle. And I'm like in my head, I'm like, this is normal. This is something you hear every day. And I'm like, oh, cool, works for me. Just let me know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, dang, that's crazy. And so I was definitely very honored to have the opportunity to do that. Super amazing people have done nothing but treated me incredible. So I'm very appreciative of them.
For sure, man.
And so yeah, no, it was a crazy story. I say all that to when I got in the studio. I had this story I was telling you about, the High School Never Really Ends. The story behind it. I had that jacket. And so the next day when I went in the studio with Carvello, he played the beat and it came on, and I was like, man, what should I write about? Because in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm writing for like, this like progressive label, but also has a faith base. So it's like, I have to talk about this. And I was like, oh man. And I remember Ace came in right before I started writing it, and he was like, hey bro, like just be yourself and just get comfortable and know it's okay to literally just like be you. And like, we can always like take what we like and manipulate it and kind of like make it however we want. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I was like, okay, like I'm good then. I can just write about like kind of like me. And that's what I just chose to do. And so I saw that. I remember that jacket from the day before. I was like, that's such a dope like tagline. And then so I put it down and I played it back, because I'm very big on like, what does the first line sound like in a song? Because if that first line doesn't like one lyrically hit, or two like melodically just get stuck in your head, like I don't want it. So I played I played it back. I was like, yeah, this is dope. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay, where can I go from this? Because I was kind of just baking off the jacket, but I thought about it like, dang, like I'm still 19, so I'm still dealing with a lot of these same problems as I was in
Yeah.
high school. Like
Yeah.
the same girls are trying to hit me up from high school. Like the same, like I was dealing with like a lot of same things. Like I'm still
Mhm.
have like I don't have like the solid friend group like I
Yeah.
didn't have it in high school, and I don't have it now because
Yeah.
we just had different we just have different plans for our life, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
from the I'm from Michigan, and where I'm from in Michigan, there's not a whole lot of music culture. It's very like just it's a whole nother culture here. So
Yeah.
basically Canada. Like
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a whole lot going
Honestly,
on.
you're like
Yeah.
really close to where I'm at, and Michigan's very close too.
Oh, where are you? Toronto?
So I'm close to Toronto. I'm really close to Toronto.
Okay, so we're only like 4 hours from each other or
Yeah,
something.
like it's
5.
not
Yeah.
far. Yeah, not far.
Yeah, because I'm in the middle. Because I remember Toronto is like 4.5 hours from me. So
Yeah.
like basically like what I'm saying is like we're 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 far.
Yeah.
We're far from Atlanta. We're far from Nashville. We're far from New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah.
Like, and there's like Detroit, which like Detroit honestly like obviously had stuff going for it, and it still does. But honestly, Detroit is kind of like definitely on its like way down right now. Just even
Yeah.
like population, like there's not a whole lot going on like there used to be. And
Mhm.
so and Detroit's also 2 hours away. So like it's
Yep.
not like I'm really like we're really I'm in the cornfields. And so I say all that to be like I didn't have that growing up. I was looked at weird for liking music and enjoying
Yeah.
music and creating music. And so it created a very weird environment.
Yeah.
So I all that to say is I was still dealing with the same problems as I was in high school.
Mhm.
Um and so I kind of just talked about it. I kind of talked about all the different things like man, like I can't believe I'm dealing with this and dealing with that. But at the end of it all, like well, the first lyric of the first verse is like, I pray my heroes don't because it's kind of like looking at my life. It's like I pray my heroes don't become my foes. And my
Mhm.
mama prays that I never sell my soul. So because my mom worries like, dang, I'm getting into music and like my like she just worries, like
Yeah.
music industry is very crazy and I understand that and she understands that and we've had talks about it. And then the last line of it is um it says a devil and an angel, they're talking on my shoulder telling me that I'm ungrateful.
Mhm.
Because when I had a very like negative look on it of like, oh my god, high school sucked because I had
Yeah.
all this stuff. But then when I looked farther back, it's like, nah, like I was blessed to even have the opportunity to go to high school and play basketball and like do music. Like I really did have a good high school experience. I was
Mhm.
just looking at it of like what was missing. And I felt like
Yeah.
because it's always like the grass is greener kind of thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
like look at it from the aspect of like I need to be grateful for what I have. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
And because like I think that's something I'm trying to deal with now. Even it's like okay, like I'm saying, that high school never really ends. It's like man, last year, I couldn't even see myself being an artist. Like, are you
Mhm.
serious? Like singing,
Mhm.
like that's insane. And then now it's like, oh dang, like I'm not. Yeah, I'll sit looking at other artists, and I'm like, man, they're like doing so much better than I am, and they're
Mhm.
like doing all this stuff. And it's like, no, like bro, like be grateful, like
Yeah. Yeah.
like there's an aspect of like yeah, like I worked for this and I worked really hard and it's like paying off, but also at the
Mhm.
same time it's like really do be grateful for what's going on in your life.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like still like the same things. It's kind of like um and I think there's a lot of things that I'm still gonna deal with in 20 years, like
For
deal with,
sure.
but like the same things. It's like so I thought people can really connect with it, and it's funny because people thought I was still in high school when I released it.
Oh, dang.
Right. So they were like, oh, he's just complaining about how long high school is. I'm like, you're not even listening to the song. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
I
no,
mean,
I
I'm
definitely.
no, I feel you, man, because I'm 27, and when I was listening to the song, I honestly just thought about what high school was like and how it's so similar stuff I'm dealing with now. I'm like, oh, it's almost exact same thing,
Yeah,
and I never thought of it like that.
like it's still like the like you still are getting peer pressure to like go do these things that you don't want to do, and you're still
Yeah.
getting like this like the people that this things that people talk about almost the
Yeah.
same, like they brag about these things and like living this way and like, oh, you should do this or you're not cool and like all this stuff. It's like you're there's still like this like outside pressure of like, you
Yeah.
should do this, live this way, be this person, or like
Yeah.
act this way. And it's like, bro, like what's going on?
Yeah,
And
man.
so it's funny because when I released this, there's this old pop punk song I didn't even know about. It's called High School Never Ends. And it
Okay.
has like, and it actually it's pretty dope. It kind of goes, because for me, I was talking about my personal life, and
Yeah.
then for this song they were just talking about like generally like high school, like everyone still talks about the same things, that like
Mhm.
who cares, like people just care about who's like doing this, like who's on drugs, who's picking up chicks, who's doing this,
Yeah.
like that's all people talk about. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
that's a dope way of writing about it too, because they wrote it more generally and I wrote it more personally.
Which is
um
dope still.
no, yeah. So I was like, because I didn't think I bit them. I mean, I kind of did on the title, which I didn't even know about. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the song came out the year I was born, so it was like
Right.
I
You would
wasn't
never have
like,
known.
yeah, I would have never have known that. So,
Nah.
great minds think alike, though, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, you and I also have something in common where we both have our own clothing brands, and you launched a brand,
Fire.
bro, called Bigger Dreams Club.
Yes,
And
sir.
what's the inspiration behind that brand, behind you launching it?
Yeah. So, couple different things.
Yeah.
The the brand statement definitely
Mm.
came after the creation of the brand, and if I
Yep.
will say so, like I had a song I was like, yo, I really want some merch for myself, and I had a
Yeah.
song I released it when I was like 16. It was called Bigger Dreams,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, like I should just like kind of like do my own thing and call it Bigger Dreams Club on a shirt, and people might like it. And I
Yeah.
did, and the shirt like sold out. Like people loved it. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then so when I released the second round of like the collection, I just like called the business like Bigger Dreams Club, and people are like, "That's so dope! I love what you're doing." I was like, "Oh, I'm really doing something." I guess I was just
Yeah.
like, it was
Yeah.
like another one of those things was like, "Oh, like it feels right. Let me do it," kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually funny because I don't know if you know who Nick D is, but Nick
Yep.
D has a brand called Freddie, and
Yeah.
it stands for Feels Right, don't it? And I'm like, that's dope. So like
Yeah.
when he told me about that, I was like, that's kind of like what's happening to me, is like, oh, it feels right to be a producer, to be an
Yep.
artist, to be a clothing designer. So no, I just wanted to like merch for myself that didn't just say Jude on it, because people aren't gonna go buy Jude.
Right.
People wanna wear your message. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Right.
And
Facts.
so I kind of like fit my message into like a brand, right?
Yeah.
And so something that people know about me, for example, just last Friday I dropped my 36th song this year. Plus, like I think we've done 34 videos. Like I'm doing a
Mm-hmm.
song a week.
Yeah.
And so people know, if you know me, people know that I'm extremely hardworking, and I like pride myself in it, in the aspect of
Yeah.
this is what I love to do. It's my passion.
Yeah,
And
bro.
so, because what I want, like the end goal is like, I want to like live my dream. And right now I'm living my dream, and it's so
Yeah.
dope. And so it's like, yeah, like you can make your own dreams come true. Like, but you can,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to, you actually have to do something about it. You actually
That's
have to
facts.
get up. You have to do stuff that you don't want to. I'm
Yep.
learning now as a, like working with higher like level just companies and different things. There's a lot of emails, there's a lot of contracts, there's a
Yeah.
lot of marketing, there's a lot of things. I'm like, okay, music is not just music. Music is so like the actual creation of the music.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this for like 2 months I didn't even make a song, which is so weird for me. I did make songs, but it
Mm-hmm.
was like I was in there, but I was writing for other people. Like I was writing for this person,
Yeah.
or like I'm producing for this person, or like we're making this song with a purpose for this. And it's like I couldn't even just sit down and just create and be myself and try something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It definitely made it really interesting that way. So I say all that to like music is so much more than just music. Music is a
Yeah.
business, you know what I mean? So
It is, man. Honestly, and
yeah.
and the crazy thing that you said, like you mentioned it already, but I looked it up and I'm like, okay, how is it? This man, I looked at how many singles you had for the year 2021, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I counted straight up like 30, and then I stopped counting, and I'm like, this dude's
Yeah.
he's got work ethic. The fact that
Yeah.
you can come out with that many songs, and the year it's not even over yet. I'm like, okay, this
Bro,
guy's got a work ethic that a lot. And you said you're 19.
I'm 19. Yeah.
19, and there's not a lot of night. So I'm a youth pastor as well, here in
Fire.
Canada, And so a young adults pastor, and there's not a lot of 19-year-olds that I know that I can say have wrote songs or has a work ethic like that. So I just want to say, like, keep doing what you're doing, man, because
Thank
it's
you,
gonna take
man.
you places for sure.
Thank you, bro. For real. Thank you so much. Man, yeah. No, it's definitely been something where I was like, oh, like I'll start to do this and see if people catch on. And I was like, all right, I was like, all year I'm doing it. And
Yeah,
then when I like posted about it the first time, and I was like, yeah, song the week 2021.
yeah.
And people like 3 people commented and they're like, well, I can't wait. And I was like, do people realize what I'm saying? And
I
then
don't think
like
so.
like I'm like, do they understand this commitment? It's like having a
Yeah,
child, like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's like I have to constantly like I told you I'm gonna be doing 52 songs, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And so yeah, I feel like a lot of people didn't really realize it. And I was like,
yeah.
dang, I'm like, now I have to prove it. And so
Right.
I went through and I like just started like I've been posting every week, bro. Like
Mhm.
every week, like, yo, song out now, go check it out. And so it's funny because it's like it started people like hundreds of people reached out, bro, and been like it's in my schedule. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I like Jude songs. It's like the consistency has been like, yo, the new Jude song dropped. For a while I was doing every Wednesday.
Okay.
So like every like Tuesday at like 10 p.m. a song would drop. Then people would like be ready. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people would be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
bet, like I'm there, I'm going to listen to it. So it made it really interesting, bro. It's like it made it where it's like people like yo, like because when I dropped high school, I switched to Friday.
Mhm.
Um because I wanted because they were dropping the playlist on Friday. And so
Yeah.
now I've been dropping on Fridays. I'm about to switch back to Wednesdays. And so but people are like, yo, like I probably got over 100, if not more, requests. Like, bro, what happened to the song on Wednesday? Like
Yeah.
people like were worked into it, man. So yeah, it was interesting.
Honestly, and the coolest thing about that is you never know who's really watching you.
Oh, you
And
don't.
no,
I'm
you never
starting to
know.
learn that, bro. I'm
Yeah.
starting to learn, like, bro, I had no idea this person rocked with me like that. Cause
Yeah.
like, bro, I didn't see you comment or like anything, or I didn't see you respond to a story,
Yeah.
or you
Yeah.
never reached out. But like people like, yo, like I'm really rocked, like you're really helping me. And I'm like, what? I was like, this person said that? Like I didn't
Yeah.
even know they knew I existed. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so that's been happening more recently. And it's definitely been one of those things where it's like, wow, like it's definitely like super surreal feeling. Like I can
Yeah.
like this person said that. That's wild, you know?
Yeah. It goes a long way. It just shows that you just have to always keep your head on straight as much as you can, and know
Definitely.
that you got people watching you. And then you never know, Jude, but there might be someone, maybe they've told you this already, but there might be someone who will vibe with your music and then say, listening to Jude's song helped change me to and help me to be where I'm at today. And you would never know unless you produced and
Never,
released
bro.
music. Yeah.
Never, bro. And that's like, and I've already like starting to see that, bro. People was like, yo, like, because in my music, I'm very like, for me, writing is something that is like, it's almost like a therapy, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the different things that I've gone through. So like me just like literally like for me, bro, like you cannot tell me that my songs are not true. They're not like about what's happening because it's like
Hmm.
they're so like vulnerable and
Yeah.
they're so specific
Yeah.
that people can't just be like, yo, like nah, like that's like I told one of my friends one time because I wrote a song about a relationship
Yeah.
and the girl was like commenting on the post
Yeah.
and I just screenshotted the comments and I texted to like the group chat with my boys and I was like, don't
Yeah.
ever say that my songs aren't true because I look
That's
at what I'm
right.
doing with right now.
That's right.
And so nah, man, so writing's been a definitely one of those things where it's so personal that and so vulnerable that people can
Hmm.
see that and be like, yo, like I'm like the same thing is happening to me. Like people
Yeah.
reach out like, yo, bro, like my girlfriend just broke up with me, or I just had to break up with my girlfriend, or like my fiance just like dumped me after 3 years. Like stuff like that. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
what? But like your music is like it's making me understand that like it's okay to go through these, it's okay to have these feelings, you know what I mean?
For sure.
Especially for guys, because I think my listeners are like 65% guys, because it's like
Yeah.
um people like, oh dang, like for another dude to like show emotion, like
Yeah.
it's definitely like you know, it's like, oh, be a man, but also at the same
Yeah.
time, like like, bro, like guys feel those emotions.
Yeah,
We
it's
shove
true.
them down, but we feel them. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I'm
yeah,
not a person that's led by his emotions. So when people meet me, they think there's like, oh man, like it's just a super like emotional, like uncontrolled, like kind of dude. I'm like, nah, like I'm very like my mom calls me a trailblazer, bro, because I just like don't even be thinking about like
yeah.
things until like I've like kind of like put my feelings in, and that's
Hmm.
what music is, bro. It's like all this stuff will happen, and I won't even really process it until later, until I go
Yeah.
to the mic. I'm like, oh dang, I was feeling that way. I never even noticed that. Like I
Hmm.
didn't even know I was like this is how I was feeling deep inside
Yeah,
until like because music like is almost like a process machine for me, you know what I mean?
that's right.
And so that's why it's so good for me to write music, because it's like therapy, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like I'm if I start missing therapy sessions, like I'm gonna know, you know what I
that's
mean?
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Now, now being like everything you just said, like music being a therapy for you and all the different things you have to deal with, all the hats you wear, being a son, being an artist, being a producer, engineer, all those things. What would you say is something that helps you stay focused or to stay on track?
So honestly, it's not something that I even really get distracted from, because
Hmm.
it's my passion. It's something that I
Yeah,
love to. There's never been a day in 3 years that I haven't thought about music.
I love it, man.
Like it's something that like I wake up. This is my bedroom, bro. I wake up and I so up here is where my bed is,
Yeah,
right? So I wake up, I walk down this little ladder right here, and I get to work. And it's
yeah.
something that like it's not something I'm like, oh, like I have to work or I have to do
Hmm.
this or blah blah blah. It's like no, like this is so fun. Like this is something that I
Yeah,
enjoy, and this is something that's gonna be my life. And so it's
facts.
like I'm excited about it, man. And it's like one of those things where it's you know you never know what's gonna happen, bro, and uh you're not sure, like like especially in the beginning, like who knows if this is what God has for me. Like
Yeah,
yeah, like
yeah,
I was like graduating high school and people like, what are you gonna do, man? Like where are you going to college? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna like I told like I went to community college for a year,
yeah,
but I was just like, I want to do music though, and people were like, are you sure? Like,
yeah, yeah,
and so um and so now like in the last year it feels it's so fulfilling, because it's like,
yeah,
man, this I definitely made the right decision, you know what I mean?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say for the listeners and those watching? What advice would you give to someone who has a dream that they want to pursue, but fear or comparisons holding them back? What would you say to that person?
Bro, first off, something I've realized is like when I started to compare, because I went through a little phase where I was starting to compare, and
Hmm.
honestly, bro, I just nipped that in the bud immediately,
Yeah, yeah,
because it's like, yo, because I can look at like different people, bro, and like instead of like instead of taking that as like negatively, I started making that very like I played sports. I can see it
hmm,
like, and like I get inspired by it, bro. Like Nick D, bro. Nick D's
yeah,
doing so good. And I was just on the
yeah,
phone with that man like 2 days ago, and he was just like, bro, he's like, you need to do these three things better. And I'm like,
hmm,
dude, you're right. I do need to do those things. Blah, blah. I do need to do those three things better, because if I
yeah,
do those things better, I'm gonna be doing better than I was before. So you're right, bro. Thank
hmm,
you. And like Caleb Gordon is another dude, bro, that I'll call and he'll be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why don't you just do this? And I'm like, you're
yeah,
right. I do need to do that. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, dang, like these dudes are outworking me. I was like, I can't believe it. Like, I'm supposed to be the hardest working person here, and these people are
yeah,
outworking me. Like, what the heck? And so I say all that to be like, bro, like it's just my passion. It's just what I
hmm,
love. That's what I love to do. I
hmm,
love it, bro. And I'm starting to love every aspect of it, bro. I'm starting to love producing and recording. Bro, I'm starting to love marketing. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't expecting that, but I'm starting to love like, yo, like this is almost a game. Like, I'm trying to get people to click. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like what can make people click? Like, what can like
yeah,
and like content creation, low key is just like it's like puzzle solving. It's like,
yeah,
okay, like what will make like what how can I make it work where people where it'll work out for me in the end.
hmm,
And like honestly, bro, like and like video, bro, photo and like the visual side of it, like that's so
yeah,
much fun to me, bro. And I've been super blessed to have an amazing creative director. His name's Ross Creative,
yeah,
and dude, he brings my visual my visuals to life, bro. And honestly, he gives me the ideas and like different stuff. Like I'll make a song and he'll be like, oh bro, like you can like communicate this through this song. And I'm like, dude, you're right. I didn't even think about that. I was just trying to make a hit. But like we could definitely communicate that positive message, like, and I didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? And so he's very conceptual. Whereas like for me, I'm a rare breed of an artist where I'm not as conceptual and I'm just like trying to tell a story. Like as far as like I'm trying to tell like my story, not even like like he's very like, how will this play out for other people? And I'm just like, oh, just drop a song, like, you know what I mean? So it's super cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man.
Jude, honestly, man, like I got honestly just one more question I want to ask you, but I just want to pause and say that this has been fulfilling for me to even hear your story and to hear you share your passion and your work ethic. Honestly, again, it is huge. Not only just
thank you, man.
Not only the fact that you're just saying it, but you're living it, and you're living it out large. And there's so many people that are gonna look back when this video or episode's released. They're gonna look back and realize, hey, maybe I can do it too, because Jude, only 19, yet he's still doing things that people who are my age or older haven't even figured out yet, but you figured it out at such a young age.
Yeah, bro. They definitely can do it, man. They definitely can do it.
Last question I want to ask you is, and you've answered a part of it, but maybe there's something else. But are there some dreams of things that you haven't pursued yet that you're excited to do one day?
Man, honestly, I think I'm most excited about, like, honestly, a dream of mine would be able to like headline a big tour. Like that sounds like, I love performing, bro. I love performing. So definitely tour would be a massive dream. I might I'm right now, I'm kind of in the works. There might be some tours I might be able to be blessed to go on. So I definitely need some practice, and we're doing some shows here and there. Just trying to figure it out. But honestly, bro, to be able to headline a tour just sounds like definitely a big dream for me.
That'd be awesome.
And honestly, just like being able to work with like some big artists like that I've like, grown up, or like maybe not even grown up listening to. There's people that inspire me now. That would just be like obviously a big dream. And honestly, just be able to help people on a big scale, man. Like I'm to the point now where it's like, okay, I'm grateful that like I haven't quote unquote blown up. I haven't done viral. I haven't done everything. I've been grateful for that. Like I probably didn't have the guts to, or I didn't have the content to blow up anyways to this point. But now it's the point where it's like, okay, like I am 100% ready for that if it does happen. You know what I mean? Like if I make a hit song and put it out and people like, yo, it blows up on TikTok and people love it, like I'm ready. Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm excited for it. And so, but right now I'm just being patient, bro. I'm trying to work as hard as I possibly can. But definitely, bro, number one dream is definitely headline a tour, because I love that, bro. I love that feeling of like people knowing the words of your songs and singing along, and people just like, and like just like, I don't know, bro. I feel like performing live is this feeling of like, dang, like everyone's coming together, and like we're like, they're supporting you, but they're supporting the message that you're pushing, because like, you know what I mean? It's just this incredible feeling, bro. So to be able to do that on a big scale would just be like, dang, man, it'd be, I'm excited, bro, to see what the future holds, because if it holds that, I would be a very, very happy man.
Dude, no cap, man. I think it's coming your way for sure, bro.
Thank you, man.
Hands down, Jude. Hands down.
Thank you, man.
Well, honestly, bro, like I said earlier, this conversation has been a blessing for me, and I know it's gonna be a blessing for so many people. And I just want you to know, I'm praying for you out here in Canada, and I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for what you're gonna be doing. 2022, I mean, 2021 was a year for sure, and 2020 was a year, but 2022 for you, I think is gonna be something special. So get ready, man.
Oh, me too, bro. I'm excited about it. Really excited about it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Thank you for having me, bro. It's been a pleasure to have this conversation with you. Please hit me up if you ever need anything.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm here, bro. Really appreciate this, for real.
Yeah, for real, bro. Honestly, I'm sure we'll stay in touch. And so, Jude, have an amazing rest of your day, man. And God bless.
You too, bro. I'll see you.
All right, peace.